RPG and my good friend, John Bucket. Stoppage time after hours. We're recording this just ahead of midnight. You look a little tired. Producer Jeff also sounding a little bit tired. So what could go wrong?
You're going to have to carry this one. It's going to be me and Jeff snoring a little bit while you run everything for the next 15 minutes to 2 hours. We'll figure it out.
What you been up to, man?
I've been traveling, man. I've been going around, spending some time with family. My little brother just had his second child, which doesn't make me feel weird at all. You know, just happy for the family. And every time my family has a child, which is like, there's like 40 of us running around now, I always offer to help. Usually it's an empty offer with nothing, no pressure. They asked me to come help with the dog. So dip down, helped out with the dog a little bit. Back home in time for stoppage time in Champions League. Ready for bed. That's the plan.
You seem like a very good dog sitter. I just got that feeling about you. You know that guy that was in Harry Potter, and you see him walking around Central Park with like 40 dogs walking around him, chained to his waist. I got you visioned in my head for something like that. Listen, obviously Champions League coming up this week. That's why we're back. That's why we're recording ahead of midnight. That's why we're going to keep buckets up just that little bit later, obviously ahead of a massive week and for stoppage time as well. It's been quite remarkable. Let's get into the group stage, what's happening right now, and have a quick look at the table. Bayern Munich, top of the table, Bucket. You must be happy.
It's where they belong. As long as we don't have to play Union Berlin in Champions League, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Arsenal sitting up second. Of course, Inter Milan doing well as well. Manchester City, Paris, Newcastle, Real Madrid, and Liverpool. That tells me when you look at these names that a lot of the big teams are taking this incredibly serious. They want to finish in the top 8 because then they miss out on the playoffs. Let's look at the playoffs. Who's sitting there right now? Galatasaray in a good position, but big teams are still there as well. Barcelona, Chelsea, Dortmund, 3 big clubs. Tottenham, all trying to get into that top 8. Now, these would be the seeded teams in the playoff phase. Let's look at the unseeded teams who would be in the playoff phase as well. Atletico Madrid, Monaco, Leverkusen, Napoli, and Frankfurt. Big teams all fighting to try and get into the top 8. And if you get 2 or 3 wins back-to-back, you have an opportunity of missing out of the playoffs. But some big teams in those playoff positions, Buckets, that are quite worrisome right now.
Absolutely. I think some of these we expect to see, but seeing Napoli, what is that, 4 ranks below Paphos right now? Some things are going to have to change. Some, like you said, plenty of time here to kind of bounce back and figure things out. But a bit shocked to see some of those clubs. Expected a lot more out of Napoli, that's for sure. Frankfurt, I can't get a read on, so not too shocked to see them right now.
Well, you obviously got to consider that Napoli have got a big game coming up against Karabag that you would expect them to pick up some points in at home. Karabag actually being quite decent in the competition so far. Who are the teams that are looking like they're going to suck this season? The elimination places: Marseille, Juventus, Athletic Bilbao. 3 giants who have a victory behind them, but still trying to get themselves out of those elimination playoffs. Obviously, the usual suspects: Bodo Glimt, Slavia Praha are in there. And who's the whipping boys right now? Listen to this. Benfica against Ajax Amsterdam are bottom and second bottom of the standings. And Buckets, you would never believe it, they play each other on Tuesday.
I have been riding my Kairat Almaty to finish last tickets for like 3 months now, and I expected that to be an easy no-brainer. The fact that one of them, or either Benfica or Ajax, will still be behind them after this match is a little bit worrisome, but Ajax has just been shockingly bad so far.
Yeah, futures you ask, futures you shall get. Let's have a look at who's going to win it all right now, according to the bookies. Arsenal favourites, and of course Bayern Munich plus 500 second favourites. Anything stand out to you there?
I just don't agree with the Arsenal line. I know that they've looked great, but they are so injury prone and they have so much going on behind the scenes right now. It's not where I'd put my money. Still a big advocate for Bayern Munich. Man City at plus 800 is looking tasty and tastier, though. If Haaland stays in the form he's in, he might win the Champions League by himself, but definitely not Liverpool. That's for damn sure.
Well, you're not buying Arsenal right now because obviously they've got Bayern Munich coming up, and then they've got Club Brugge away from home, which is a tough place to go play. And then, of course, they've got Inter Milan away from home before they finish against Kairat Almaty. So those 3 games coming up are massive games for them, and they're a place to try and win it. I think it'll be difficult for them. But will they finish in the top 8? According to the bookies, they're definitely going to finish in the top 8. Minus 10,000 buckets. Anyone here standing out to you? Obviously, Chelsea looking quite decent at plus 200, but anyone else really standing out to you there? Newcastle plus 160. They've got a favorable draw, so they've got an opportunity there, but I don't know.
I don't hate Chelsea. I mean, outside of that, there's not really value in any of these guys we're seeing in the top 10 right now. The day I give out a minus 10,000 is the day I retire from sports betting. It's going to hit, but good luck betting on that. Chelsea's the only place out of this bracket that I'm really looking at. Newcastle, I'd rather take Chelsea at Newcastle than better odds right now.
I'm not so sure about that one because Chelsea's fixture list is actually not that easy or not too kind to them. They play Barcelona coming up next. Then they got to go to Bergamo to take on Atalanta, which is a difficult one for them. Then they play Paphos in a game which should win, obviously, before they finish off in the Champions League in Naples against Napoli. I quite like Newcastle. Just going to throw it out there. Anyway, who's going to be your top goal scorer? Of course, the leading weight right now in the top goal scorer chase is, of course, the Victor Osimhen from Galatasaray on 6 goals. Erling Haaland on 5. Harry Kane on 5 as well. There's a few. Kylian Mbappe on 5. I mean, there's a few here who are obviously big names, but plus numbers massively. It's difficult to predict who's actually going to win that golden boot. And remember, you got to get to the knockout stages, and those teams who actually compete in the playoffs, those goals count for golden boot as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't fall for the Victor Osimhen trap because he's leading right now. He's actually injured and not expected to play against USG, so you're already missing potential games. And I don't think Galatasaray is going to make it too far in this competition. I feel like I got to just keep backing Bayern Munich players here, but Erling Haaland at plus 350 with the form he's in, I don't mind taking that at all. Even if City doesn't make it to the final, he still might win that. Outside of those first 3, though, I mean, I'm not playing Rashford. I'm not playing Yamal. Gyökeres is just, I just don't see a ton of value outside those top 3 guys.
Lautaro Martinez might not be a bad shot at plus 1600, but he was pretty poor in the Milan derby that just happened this past weekend. How good is your ticket for bottom of the table, the wooden spoon looking right now? According to the bookies, quite good.
Still interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy about that. I'm not going to complain. I'm curious to see what this looks like after Ajax and Benfica. I guess we could get a draw there. That wouldn't shock me. Then we're all tied up. But I'm happy-ish right now.
I think you have to be. Kairat Almaty, never going to be easy games for them. They do have an opportunity, though, away to Copenhagen this next match day before they play Olympiacos. Then they've got Club Brugge finishing off at Arsenal. 3 games they could get something from, you know. If they get a victory, your ticket is toast.
That it is, Ian. Thank you for the reminder on that.
All right, let's have a look at Tuesday's games coming up. Obviously, the big one is the one at the top of your page right there, Ajax against Benfica. I'm looking forward to some other games that are taking place on this match day. Chelsea against Barcelona, probably grabbing all the headlines. But that Marseille against Newcastle game, that is a real banger of a matchup there. Buckets, anything stand out to you in particular for Tuesday?
Outside of the ones you already mentioned, I always like watching Dortmund at home. I like to support producer Jeff and root along his lads there. I'm weirdly excited for Man City Leverkusen. Leverkusen's actually looked pretty solid in Bundesliga right now, and City's been, they're going to win this, but I've got a bet for that match later in the show I'm very excited for.
Quite angry at Borussia Dortmund because this past weekend they conceded. They actually scored to go 3-2 up and then conceded an equaliser in stoppage time to a Dennis Undav hat-trick to ruin a plus 1,000 ticket I had on a 4-game parlay. Not too happy for me. Let's go to Wednesday's games. Obviously, a lot of big ones to look forward to on Wednesday. The big one for you, Buckets, is Arsenal against Bayern.
Absolutely. There's no other game that exists on the slate for me outside of that game. A little bit disappointed already in that match, but again, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But man, I'd love 3 points more than anything.
Atleti against Inter, another banger of a game for us who love the smaller clubs in football world, is Frankfurt against Atalanta, 2 teams who have had success in Europa League most recently. They're going head-to-head. Liverpool, they can't seem to win games regularly, but they did win their last game in the Champions League against Real Madrid. Will they bang in the goals against PSV Eindhoven after being humiliated against Nottingham Forest this past weekend? PSG against Tottenham to look forward to as well. Buckets, Liverpool, what's going on with them, man?
My mom always told me growing up, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I have so many not nice things to say about Liverpool because not only are they just playing, sorry, Mom, they're just playing terrible footy. You've got too many players wanting to play the exact same position, and everything's focused on attack right now, and there's no cohesion, there's no synergy, and then defensively, they're just non-existent, man. I wouldn't be shocked if PSV, I mean, the spread right now is PSV +2. I think you should just take that against any opponent against Liverpool right now. But I'm just, something's off there. Something's off.
You remember those haters I was having when Liverpool were winning all those games and I was saying they're overrated?
Real quiet now, I'm guessing?
Gone. Not hearing a single thing. You know it wouldn't be an episode of Stoppage Time if we didn't get some wagers from our betting expert. Yes, that is, of course, our blonde bombshell, the betting unicorn, John Bucket Timer. I'm doing it quiet because it's almost midnight. And, of course, this is Stoppage Time After Hours. We're bringing it to our people because it's the Champions League match day 5, and we're really looking forward to this one. Buckets, I'm looking for 6 best bets from you, 3 each match day, 3 for Tuesday, 3 for Wednesday. And when producer Jeff wakes up and decides to put the clock on, you can begin your wager. Are you ready?
Yeah, Ian, I'm ready. I appreciate you asking. Excited for this.
God, that would be amazing to listen to. You put anyone to sleep if you had a voice like that. Why don't you go on Morning Footy with that voice?
Hey, good morning, everyone. So great to be here. Great to see you all.
I'll do all my bets like that if you want me to. I'm not sure if that's what the viewers want, though.
This is Captain John Bucket Timer getting ready to take off from JFK Airport. Please strap in your seatbelts. You might need it because this is going to be a little bit wild. Okay, John Bucket Timer, are you ready to rock and roll with your best bet number 1 for Tuesday?
I am looking at the matchup that everyone should be looking at. It is Chelsea taking on Barcelona, because when I see Barcelona play in any capacity, whether it's a cup game, it's a league game, it's Champions League, I don't care. I bet the over every single time. Over 3.5 goals is plus 100 now. Robert Lewandowski is back fit and healthy and is looking incredible. Lamine Yamal is finding his form again. And Chelsea is missing Cole Palmer, which means they're going to have to rely on their wingers to score. Playing against Barcelona's high line, I think we're going to see a ton of goals in this game because we've seen 44 in the last 10 Barcelona games, Ian. I just feel like this is an easy one, and we got to take it at even money.
Lewandowski right now, 2+ shots on target, plus 150. You taking it?
I'm taking it 2 shots on target, 3 shots on target. Yeah, absolutely. 150 is crazy.
Does Lewandowski score a goal?
Yes.
Plus 125. Lewandowski's back. Best bet number 2 for the Champions League on Tuesday. John Bucket Timer, take it away.
I'm looking at the matchup between Galatasaray hosting Union Saint-Gilloise, and I'm going with the player prop here at plus odds. We have no Victor Osimhen, which means there's a name that you might have forgotten about, but I sure as hell haven't because he's cashed me so many tickets over the year. Mauro Icardi, anytime goal scorer at plus 125. When Osimhen is not available, he is the guy who is in charge of stepping up for this Galatasaray squad, especially when they're playing at home. He scored in his Super League match against Genker Berligi. I didn't say that right. It doesn't matter. He scored last week in league play. He's gonna score against USG again this time. I love him at plus 125 here, Ian.
How impressive have Galatasaray been this season? 13 games played domestically, 10 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, 28 goals scored, only 8 goals against. Buckets, do they make it into the top 8, Galatasaray?
I think they do.
No comment from me. Best bet number 3 for the Champions League games that are taking place on Tuesday. The blonde bombshell. John Bucket Timer, take it away.
I am taking a note out of your playbook here because I'm looking at the game between Manchester City and Bayer Leverkusen, and I'm not just going with BTTS. I'm going with BTTS plus Man City on the money line here at plus 140. City are the better squad. They're playing at home. They've got Haaland. That's all they need to win this game. But Leverkusen, not as bad as people might have thought they've been this season. They've been fairly competent in most of their games. They've been scoring in Champions League, and I don't trust Manchester City's defense right now because this team is so good offensively. They're allowed to concede a goal or 2 in Champions League, and it doesn't really have to affect them. I think we're going to see a lot of goals here. City should win, but Leverkusen's got to get one.
And what about Erling Braut Haaland? Does he score goals?
He probably scores 2 goals, at least.
Okay, for Erling Braut Haaland to score a goal in each half. So basically to score both halves, plus 340.
I love that. I'm so tired.
All right, let's get to Wednesday. Best bet number 1 for Wednesday's games in the Champions League. John Bucket Timer, take it away.
I've got an exciting one for us all here this afternoon, this evening, this morning, whenever you're watching. Eintracht Frankfurt hosting Atalanta. I want every bet I give out on this show to be plus money, so that's what I'm doing for another player prop. I'm looking at, again, a player that's not getting enough attention right now. Jonathan Burkardt to score or assist. A great name, handsome fellow, plus 110 right now. He has played 8 games in the Bundesliga. He scored 8 goals. He's played 4 Champions League games. He has 2 goals and 1 assist. He is leading the charge for Frankfurt. And if you're going to beat Atalanta, you're going to need at least 2 goals in this one, Ian. I think he has a good shot at to score or assist here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Over 3.5 total goals in this game is currently sitting at plus 155. They have met each other before, both games 2-2. Best bet number 2 for the Champions League games taking place on Wednesday. Buckets, where you going?
Oh, unfortunately, I'm going to Liverpool versus PSV for some reason because I'm either a masochist or a sadist. I don't remember which one likes pain, but I'm that one because I am betting on a game with Liverpool playing out of form as they are. But I'm not going to bet on Liverpool because I don't know how you trust Liverpool right now. I know it's at home. It's under the big European lights and Champions League at Anfield. I don't care. I want a fun bet, and I want to fade this Liverpool side that cannot figure it out right now. Ian, this is a crazy bet. This is a long shot. This is the bet you bet responsibly on. But PSV over 1.5 team total. PSV to score 2 or more is plus 250. I think that Liverpool's going to keep losing for at least a couple weeks here.
I know why you're doing this. PSV Eindhoven, top of the table in Eredivisie. They've played 13 games. They've scored 41 goals. Does it hit? Yes. Best bet number 3 for the Champions League games taking place on Wednesday. The other ones have been a little bit wild. If you've not seen them, go check them out. Buckets, what you got?
I'm looking at Arsenal Bayern.
Whoa.
And the only thing I care about is that at the end of the game, I get to light my little smells like a Bayern Munich win candle here. But rather than take the money line, I want to take something else because this is a bit of a tricky matchup. Bayern Munich's not going to have Luis Diaz. Barcelona's going to be missing a CVS receipt full of players. There's a lot of big names missing, and everyone's going to want to bet on the big guys. They're going to want to bet on the Kanes. They're going to want to bet on the Sakas, the Trossards, whoever it may be. Michael Olise to score or assist for Bayern Munich is plus 200. His to score line is plus 400 currently. We are ignoring one of the best players in all of European footy right now. I love Olise to score or assist for Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich have got a great chance in this game, but it is Arsenal. Right now, it's very difficult to predict this game, so please, everybody out there, bet responsibly on this matchup. Go Bayern.
Go Bayern.
Well done, Buckets. You
Thank you,
survived. We might let you go to bed now because it's a little bit late on. Stoppage Time After Hours is finally over. Shout out to our, genius producer Jeff, for all the great things that he's doing, but also staying up late with us to do the After Hour show. Or should we actually blame producer Jeff for making us stay up late and doing this episode of Stoppage Time for all your loyal listeners out there? Bucket, it's great to see you, man. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm not even going to ask you any more questions. I'm just going to let you go to bed. And I know what you do before you go to bed every single night. You know what you do?
Oh, master? Or no, what do I do?
You clean your teeth, and then you go to bed, okay? But in the sake of John Buckenheimer for what he just said, all of you other people out there, make sure you absolutely have it.
I was like, there's no way you're making a jerk-off joke right now.
The show has ended. Switch off.